I have always said that this was only an intermediate training pot while I get my bonsai oak ends ready for the main event. And guess what? One of you, Gary Brown, said to me, Zav, I can make you an incredible 3-4 foot landscape where you can lay out your ents for their battle of Fangorn Forest. And though these little fighters may not yet be ready for that pot, I think it's going to be fun to have a look and see exactly what he's produced and actually how his bonsai collection looks. But not only that, we also get to visit Paul, who's the newly appointed chairman of the Bristol Bonsai Society, the club that Dan Barton attends. Anyway, there's that, there's Tolkien Lord of the Rings inspiration, a little bit about tree, root on rocks. In fact, there is so much that goes on today. You're going to see two very different collections, and you're also going to get to enjoy, well, the birth of British tourism, which happened way down there, I think in Gloucestershire. I tell you what, 2.5 hours, and every time I go to someone's garden, I'm absolutely blown away. And I've got Gary here who's kindly invited me to his garden, and the drive itself is absolutely incredible. But you know what? Well, you know from the intro that I'm coming here for something very, very special. Under here, is there something special?
There's something I've tried my best for you.
And just to remind everyone, how was it that you've come to this commission, isn't it?
So you were making the Ent video, and you wanted something to plant your trees in.
Yeah.
And you wanted something that you could perhaps create a landscape with. So I kind of run away with the idea a little bit. So I hope you won't be too disappointed.
Oh, wow.
So it's made a bottom slab. So the thinking was they're all standalone pieces anyway. If you don't want them all on there, you wanted something to put a tower on, or a tower. So I thought I made a little piece. Maybe you can use that, maybe not. So add it, take it away, whatever.
They're really quite light, actually.
Yeah. If you want a bigger design, I thought they're made standalone, so you could pack with your moss.
Yeah.
And extend the design if you wanted to. But these are all your outcrops.
I tell you what makes this. Well, look, I'm absolutely. I thought when Andy did his dragon pot, I was blown away, and it's amazing. You can never quite imagine what you know, sort of designs and things. And you sent me some pictures of what you had done. I was amazed by those. But actually, I can. You know, when you said 4 foot, I'm thinking it's going to be like 4 foot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of trees. I'm thinking I haven't got enough. But this,
it's just under 4 foot. There's plenty of wire holes and drainage.
Gosh,
it's all reinforced, fibre, cement, everything, you know. So
in terms of it's tree friendly, root friendly,
it's tree friendly, root friendly, should last for years,
and all friendly.
Yeah. And the thinking is, if Zav wanted an higher elevation to his forest, he could raise that underneath and pack with the soil and the moss around it.
It's an absolutely fantastic
and have a higher raised forest sloping down into the plain if he wanted to.
No, I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away. Goodness. That's top notch. That is really,
we do have some other pieces to keep the theme going, so perhaps we'll have a look at those.
Yeah. I must be honest, I've already been looking around a lot more of the other sort of moulding that Gary's been doing, and then I see this here, which is it like a mine or a mine entrance here? Or?
I live in the Forest of Dean, so we're sort of synonymous with mining. We have a great mining heritage in the Forest of Dean. This is made from hypertufa, so it's quite lightweight, this one.
And when you say hypertufa, what's actually the ingredients you've got in that?
So hypertufa is a mixture of cement, perlite and peat, believe it or not. But my eventual idea is to plant on top of the mine And I've made some planting pockets around there for accent plants and maybe some little hawthorns, that kind of thing, just
so
to do a forest tribute. Yeah.
Amazing. And again, do you know, I'm always saying that the reason why I love doing the channel so much and get the comments and get the interaction is because you just realise just how good and how different and diverse some of the stuff that other people are doing. And, you know, whether it be yourself, whether, you know, Joe Garland in his garden, the stuff that he's doing, it's always something different. And I think there's always a place for everyone and your sort of creative needs. So don't ever be afraid to just go in there and do stuff and think, oh, it's not good enough because it's not like what I see on TV. That's absolute rot. This up close, this is incredible. Well, I'm at the moment, Gary's had to leave me on my own because I wasn't nearly moved to tears, but I really, really didn't expect that sort of generosity, and thanks isn't enough. But in the meantime, we were actually supposed to be talking about bonsai. You know how much I love juniper, because I'm really trying to get to grips with it. And again, Gary was going on about how he hates his wiring. But this is so beautifully wired out. It's simple structure, but it's taking a tree, separating, creating layers and levels, and then, you know, let it grow and let it thicken out. But it's interesting, and yet it looks real. I love this. So how long have you actually had this one for?
That one, believe it or not, was, I've probably had about 3 years. It was a local garden centre tree.
Yeah.
They were having a clear out and they were selling all off for £5. So that was a £5 tree.
It certainly doesn't look like a £5 tree. And I know you, and sometimes you say, well, you wire out, you create this bonsai shape, but we all recognise that the next stage of it, now you've got that structure, is letting the actual foliage grow out and then build from there. But I love it, absolutely love it. Did you do any training? Have you had any sort of formalised training in any way, or is it just...
No, I came to bonsai in lockdown.
So I noticed this, you talked about you love your pines. The one that's grabbed my attention that's in front of you right now, that is incredible. That's incredible.
This one was probably one of the first trees I bought from a local garden centre. And it was a straight stick. But I watched Peter Chan doing a trunk splitting video. And I thought, you know what, cut the quid, let's give it a go. So I split the trunk on this one and managed to get some shape into it. It's got a little bit of wire biting here and there, but I'm thinking, as Peter Chan says, scarring on a pine you can get away with, you know, so let's see what the future brings.
I think you bring up, again, a lot of people get really worried about wire scarring, and, you know, let's be honest, if we're talking about our maples, that is a problem. But on your rugged Scots pines and rugged trees, I think it brings a different character to them, especially when you're this sort of Literati style or something. I actually really, really like this. Right now, I'm absolutely surrounded by what I'd call a cuttings factory. I mean, it's all really well laid out. There's so much stuff here. But the thing that's really intrigued me is, well, I don't know if there's some sticks here that's got loads of wire on them.
Okay.
Is there a reason for this? Come, sit down and tell us what this reason is.
Okay. I watched an article a couple of years ago about Electro culture in gardening, in organic vegetable growing.
It's not techno-culture.
Not techno-culture. Science mumbo-jumbo, probably. And it was advocating copper wire wrapped around a stick, placed in with your plants. And it harnesses natural ions and stuff like that. So that's what I done. I stuck it in a couple of pots and then forgot about it. So they're all gathering dust in the corner now, because I kind of gave up on it.
Is this actually proven to work anywhere? I've been looking and...
Well, I just said to Zav, these are all grown from conkers. The old chestnut.
Do you know what? If anyone's afraid to wire, then you want to come and have a look and see what Gary's doing, because there is just so many junipers here that are so well wired out. The first thing he said to me is, don't look at my wiring, it's rubbish. Goodness, puts me to shame. When I go back home, I'm just going to cry on my pillow. I really am. These are some really well wired out. And I think the important thing here, I'm going to go back to that, but you seem to be really concentrating on getting a good, what I call, I'm always going about primary structure, so you get that real skeleton that you want to grow from. And here, even if this isn't the final designs, you can see the branch work and the bends that are here. It's going to be the sustainable future for some of these trees. But anyway, you're going to show me these...
Yeah, we digress. Yeah, so these were my seed-grown horse chestnut conkers.
Yeah. And
the interesting thing was, I just said this out, I noticed the other day while I was having a bit of a tidy-up, the Xavier tidy-up before he came to visit. All these look a bit end of summer now. They look a little bit worse for wear.
They're looking a bit like me.
Yeah. But I noticed just this one is the only one that's got one of those sticks in with a wire wrapped around it. And so this green one is so lush and green, and there's not a blemish on it. We just said now, for an experiment next year, as I've said, I should stick a couple more sticks in and see what happens.
Definitely.
So we'll update you next year, whether it's mumbo jumbo or just plain bullshit.
You know what? That's a great segue, because I'm always looking for a place where I can say, which is an ideal place. If you hit share, subscribe, like, dislike, whatever, then you'll get to find out whether or not that is indeed true or mumbo.
Yeah.
Notice you've got quite a production line of saplings and seedlings, and how much of this is grown?
These are all seed-grown red and black pines that I'm just playing about with. They've been repotted this year, so one assault a year, that's what I believe. So we just let them do their thing now, and then next year they'll have some wiring and a little bit of cutting, and yeah.
Lovely colour on them. Really, really nice colour. I think, tell you what, one thing that's caught my eye is that a cedar?
Yeah, it's a blue atlas cedar, a weeping variety.
Yeah.
I bought last summer, I really wanted one, and after I bought it, my friends, the local bonsai enthusiasts, told me what hard work they were to keep and look after. I tried a couple of air layers, not too successful. One's hanging on for dear life over the back there.
Okay.
But this is what's left after I took the top off.
But the nice thing is whatever, and I think this is the thing I love about bonsai anyway, is so we try to take air layers, and if they don't work, but you've got new shoots that are on the back of this. So,
yeah.
You know what, if things don't work, the best thing about this is we know, all right, we've got to wait a little bit longer. But if it's healthy, then we always know we're going to be able to grow on and continue. But I actually quite like just that sort of weeping form on it. Wow, is that Chinese elm there?
Yeah, it's just a little supermarket Chinese elm that I'm experimenting with on a rock.
That is a fantastic idea. You know I love putting my elms on rocks and stuff like that.
I'm just letting it do its thing at the moment and just get those roots developed.
I see you got yourself a Trident there.
Yeah, my first Trident, bought from Westbury Boot Fair last year. So I'm having fun with this one. I've took some cuttings off it, so let's see what happens. It might be a nice tree one day.
Now, these are what I call a slab. Absolutely custard. You expect me to eat this without making a complete mess all over myself?
Yeah, that's your portion. That's a forest portion for
no,
you.
I'm not. You having one of these?
Not for me.
You're joking. Oh, you've done it, so I'm going to have one. But are you ready for this? This is not going to be pretty. And on top of that, you don't mind if I just make a mess, do you?
No, you just get messy.
Tell you what, while I'm having a mess, are there any bonsai clubs near you?
Yeah, my closest one is Bristol Bonsai Society. Mm-hmm. And later on, we are going to visit the chairman of the Bristol Bonsai Society.
So just explain for everyone, this is a president of a bonsai club. Which prestigious bonsai club are you president of?
We are Bristol Bonsai Society that's been going 50 years this year. Started out by about 3 guys, one of them being Dan Barton, and basically I've been thrown into the presidency, or chairman should I say, of Bristol Bonsai, and it's doing really, really well. We've had one of our best years this year.
So let's be honest though, what's the perks of being a president? Because nobody does it for the love of bonsai, do they? Are there any backhanders?
I get fish emotion.
Now Paul won't actually admit this, but one of the big perks, and this is what I was trying to get at, the big perk of actually taking on the onerous task of being the president of a bonsai club, and I'm sure it's the same up and down the country, I know it is, everyone's in everyone's pocket, is you get this small small bijou small bijou establishment with trouble with tidals. I bet they get loads of flooding up here as well. But look at that. I can be jealous, can't I? I'm sure he's worked for it, but wow, what a view.
It's just the great fact that we can give back what people have given to us.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I enjoy. You know, it's not a case of being in the right place at the right time. It's just the fact of, with a passion of what this creates, and the look on someone's face when you turn around and say, "Yeah, mate, you can have that." You know, because
Is that what you were saying about that beach we've just seen?
What, you want it? yeah. It's, everything's always for sale. You know, there's always plenty here. Yeah.
So you said that was your first.
So basically, there was just outside Bristol. There was a little Glenbrook Bonsai Nursery. It was, and that was my first tree that I practiced on, and that was probably mid-90s.
Gosh.
So these are about the size of my thumb.
You talk about community and actually just being able to chat, and no one being sort of nitty-picky about what you do. We're all at different stages, aren't we, in our journey? But it's being able to share that.
Everybody has the journey, and like a tree, it's on a journey. And sometimes when you lose that journey ends up going to somebody else to look after. And there's so much stuff which, you know, whatever you decide to create in your bonsai journey, as long as you look after it, the chances are that you can pass it on.
Well, it's like you've got some incredible trees here. I actually like.
Well, this one here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a piece of bogwood that came off the bank of the river.
Oh, sorry, you were talking.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you were talking about.
I like this because it's a mixed planting. It's got oaks in there.
It's got beech, oak, juniper. I lost the juniper a little bit. It's got silver birch in there. Yeah, and a larch popping out the bottom there. Yeah. But again, you can create anything.
It's being able to put your own style, isn't it? And you know, ultimately, it's your back garden, and whether it be your back garden sitting on this incredible river estuary, or it's a council garden, it doesn't matter, because you walk out, and as you said, you look out your kitchen window, and you can look at something and think, I've created this, I love it.
Yeah.
And you know, we all know it's our own faults and things, but.
Longer.
But you saw the thing I love about clip and grow, I've got quite a lot, is you get a lot less scarring between your branches.
Well, again, sometimes you're taking wire off too late. Sometimes you take it off too early. So you've just got to get that balance right. Dan's a great person. What he does is he encourages.
Yeah.
He likes to have people around him. He encourages this, he encourages that, and he puts his own little mark on things. You know, oh, just do this, just do that. You know, yeah, he might. And he likes natural. He likes a natural looking tree. All right, I've got a few things around the other side which are not natural. I've got a few things here which are not natural.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's my take. But when he talks about natural, stuff like that, and space, have space between the branches to let light through, because light's just as important.
It's probably one of the things that I struggled with as you move from basic knowledge and that, and I don't mean into, but understanding, you know, when they talk about negative space, and I really, you know, I struggle with colours. So, and when you start realising, Peter changed it to me, the tree, said, what you want to do is, if you bend that tree down, that branch down, you're going to open up, there's going to be this big space here, and it'll make the tree better. And I look at it and go, and I did it. And he was spot on. Yeah. And you start to realise that space and
the thing is, he's paid that forward. He's actually told you, now you know how to do it. Yeah.
And I remember talking to Yella about this, and sometimes it feels like a lottery trying to get that top right, but it's just construction.
Yeah.
Construction and patience.
One of the things I will say is that you have to have projects, because you can only work on that for a period of time, and then you think, oh, I'm bored, I'm twiddling my thumbs, I need to work on something else. So you always need a project.
So is that one of your projects?
That's a project. That's been like that for over 5 years.
And
you know, and it's just in a plastic pot with a little bit of tanuki going on the inside. Yeah. That's a B&Q juniper, that is. And all I've done is I've just grown it out, made the pads go really thick, take it right back. And I've just been messing around with it. You know, it's just.
But you have invested in the pot, I noticed.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
No, that makes it.
This is a proper bonsai pot, you know. It's even got holes in the bottom to wire it into the pot.
That's going to be good then. You can probably sell that for a lot of money with that pot.
I'm going to sign it as well, you know. One day I'm going to actually come to,
Oh, that's brilliant.
Been in this pot now for about 3 years. And when I took this out of the pot, I didn't take any of the roots off. All I did is I brought them back. So I took all the soil out and I brought them back. So hopefully there's something in there that I can then put that on the.
That's and that I've got to show the slab that's going on to then. That is shallow. So that is going to look.
Again, that's just made out of chicken wire, 6mm bonsai wire, cement, and water. And I can only just pick it up.
Well, there you go. So if you're anywhere around Bristol and you haven't yet seen the famous Bristol Bonsai Club, what days do you meet?
We normally go to a Monday evening at Fayland Village Hall. Last Monday of every month. We have a workshop coming up in September, which is a 2-day workshop with Kaz Bonsai.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so that's you're more than welcome to come down. If you're not a member of Bristol Bonsai, it's £5 to come in and visit. So it's not an expensive day. And on the Sunday you could join us as well with your own tree. For 40 quid you could have Kaz help you create something fantastic.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for talking, Paul, and hopefully the sun doesn't shine too much off the top of your head.
I do get a little burnt occasionally when I'm working in here, yes.
Cheers. You mentioned the Forest of Dean, and I know when you said in the email that there was some sort of Lord of the Rings inspiration with the Forest of Dean or something.
Yeah, so they believe that Tolkien was inspired by a local woods, Puzzlewood.
Have I got custard all around my mouth?
No, you're all right. You're not too bad at all. Yeah, so that may be on tomorrow's agenda.
Oh, wow. So we're going to have some Lord of the Rings inspired natural scenery potentially, which will be a lot better than seeing custard around my lips, won't it? Yeah, we're now just trying to find the secret place where Gary finds some very, very interesting trees. Personally, I think he's just trying to find somewhere to do me over and bury me, because this is looking pretty wild and woolly. What do you think, Gary? Any good trees here?
Nice nabari on that one.
Nice nabari on that. I'll just go get me my pitchfork and see what we can do. Yeah, I'm just being shown some of the secret little locations where we've got some great examples of future Yamadori. It's only about 25 foot across, so I'm going to need to bring me spoon and me fork. But yeah, look at the roots and everything in that. I somehow feel that that's going to stay in the grips of nature. Absolutely beautiful though. And like any great Richard Attenborough or David Attenborough investigation, we have actually found the humble Cotoneaster or Cotoneaster in its natural environment. There was me who thought it was naturally environed outside of Tesco's or Sainsbury's or other big supermarket chains, and would you believe it? It actually does exist in its natural state in the wild. And look at those incredible red berries. Who'd want to dig that up and make a bonsai out of it? Answers in the comments, please. I think the most incredible thing, let's be honest, about bonsai or anything as a hobby is not just the actual technical artistic style of it, it's the ability to be able to get out in nature. And it sounds really trite sometimes, but you know what? I've been doing a 9-to-5 job most of my life, and now the ability to get out there, walk, enjoy the sun, keep yourself fit, mindfulness, all that great stuff that we like to talk about, surrounded by this sort of stuff. And in the meantime, do find and keep your eye out for trees that you can get permission to excavate to further your interests and career. Look at the sun shining off that. Amazing. Anyway, I've got some more fun stuff to do with Gary. I'm being treated like royalty. Absolutely privileged. I'm not sure what on earth this has got to do with bonsai, but I've got a funny feeling it's something to do with my death. And there you go, this is going to be the classic root on rock. What do you think you're going to put around that then, Gary?
Chinese album every time, and get one from B&Q and do something with that.
The only thing is trying to actually get it out of this rather large hole. But yeah, I think a nice juniper on that, definitely. And who'd have thought we'd find at the bottom of a cave or mining pit some perfect little 1800 cascade pots. Absolutely perfect. You can get bonsai everywhere here. I almost feel like I'm doing that that episode Nigel Saunders did when he was spent 2 hours, oh my gosh, all around the countryside and looking at tree roots. So what am I overlooking now?
So you're looking over the Wye Valley.
The Wye Valley.
Yeah. So this is just some of the natural bonsai inspiration, the views and the woodlands.
Yeah, but have you seen the inverse taper on the yeah, it's terrible, that's not natural, you know.
Nice little blackthorn showing itself.
This. So it's the old inspiration for the Ents and everything for Lord of the Rings. I've been walking for 5 minutes and I already feel like I'm getting lost. It's so elf-like. Look, and there he is.
A lesser spotted Gary.
A lesser spotted Gary. This is not a lesser spotted Dick. So, again, it's just the examples of the root over rock, or look at that. Down that, you have auxers down there, down that hollow. With that old tree wrapped around those rocks. Ah, there we go. So we've proven it's also, yeah, it has actually, you're right, it's ground layered branch on this yew. So there you go, we've proven it. Well, who would have thought that a world famous bonsai channel like me would be right now sat inside the heart of an Ent? It's definitely an Ent up there because, well, it was speaking to me, and you know what I'm like on my channel, anything happens. But yeah, absolutely incredible. I can see the Tolkien influence, that's for sure. So maybe that'll give me the influence to use Gary's new landscape when I start planting up my oak bonsai Ents. It's going to be fun to watch, I reckon. So, managed to get safely back, and I've just got, again, massive thanks to you, Gary, for hosting me, for all these wonderful gifts you passed my way. I'm using the fish emulsion that you also made yourself. That'll come in another video all about homemade fertilizers. That should be interesting. Also, obviously, a big thank you to Paul, who allowed me to saunter around his palatial residence. It's amazing to know what you can get if you just volunteer to be the chairman of a local bonsai club. But seriously, really great guy, and I guarantee Bristol must be thriving under your new leadership. Anyway, hopefully you've all enjoyed that. It's been a bit of a mixed bag. We've seen the tale of two bonsai enthusiasts, one perhaps further on his experience, and one, well, in his first 5 years. But I tell you what, both bonsai collections were worth the visit and were worth enjoying, and I hope that's inspired you, because it certainly inspired me. And really the only thing goes for me to say is we're going to be seeing more of all this sort of stuff, more footage from that inspirational site that Tolkien did actually work at when we come back in spring to do the first proper repot of those oak bonsai Ents, perhaps even some larch ones, into that incredible slab that Gary has made for me. All I can say is thanks ever so much, and I tell you what, anyone else who well, feels courageous and brave and thinks I might like to visit and say hi, drop me a line. Who knows, it's something we may be able to sort out. Anyway, from Xavier, happy bonsai and God bless. Cheers.